Hello everyone, today we're gonna be able to talk about the sly fox who you wouldn't want to mess with, and the one who oversees Narukami Shrine and owns Yae Publishing House, Yae Miko. So let's begin. Yae Miko, also known as Guuji or the Guuji, is a playable electro character in Genshin Impact. A kitsune of many fleets, Yae Miko oversees the Grand Narukami Shrine, owns the Yae Publishing House, and is Eternity's Electro Archon, servant, and friend. Yae Miko is a 5-star Catalyst female character of the Electro Vision in Genshin Impact. Her birthday is June 27 and her constellation is Divina Vulpes. She comes from the region of Inazuma and has 3 affiliations: the Grand Narukami Shrine, Yae Publishing House, and Yokai. Her special dish is Fukuchi Udon, which is a variant of udon noodles. The 4 voice actors of this kitsune of many fleets in the 4 localizations of Genshin Impact are Wartana in English, Du Minya in Chinese, Sakura Ayane in Japanese, and Moon Yujan in Korean. She has 2 titles, which are Astute Amusement and Guuji of the Grand Narukami Shrine. Yae Miko uses the tall female model. She has fair skin, purple eyes, and thigh-length pink hair. In her regular form, Miko has purple eyes and long, muted pink hair that is tied at the bottom. She also has pink fox ears that are pointed downward. While she lacks a tail in this form, they'll briefly appear as the set of 5 translucent tails when she uses Great Secret Art Tenko Kitsune, or as one tail when she uses Yukane Evocation, Set's House Sakura, or when performing a plunging attack. Being a kitsune, Miko also has a fox form, though she refuses to reveal it to the traveler. Her outfit, which is Miko's instruction, Miko's hair is tied at the bottom and she wears a unique and stylized variation of clothing inspired by the colors of a shrine priestess traditional outfit. She wears a golden head accessory accompanied by matching golden earrings. The right earring contains an electro Inazuma vision wrapped in a complex drop-shaped piece and decorated by a small fan-shaped accessory at the bottom. The earrings are attached to her ears by diamond-shaped studs. The outfit also has ornaments which glow. When Yae Miko's elemental burst is ready, the purple gem in the other earring will glow along with her vision. Miko's instruction is described as a shrine maiden uniform that declares her lofty position as the Guuji of the Grand Narukami Shrine to all. May the lovely sight of her in that dress remain forever, just as the sacred sakura embezzled upon her pure white skirt, which will never wilt away. This outfit can be unlocked when you obtain her character. Miku has a mysterious demeanor around her whenever she assumes her duties as the Guuji of the Grand Narukami Shrine. When she assumes her duties as the boss of the Yae Publishing House, she is known to be very kind and enjoys reading books and stories. Although she also shows an obsessive side in making profit at the same time, she has an enigmatic air around her, with her friends growing used to it. When speaking with outsiders or close friends, she shows a blunter and more critical side to her. Miko does not mince words, even towards her friend and Master A. Being a kitsune, Miko is much fond of fried tofu. She despises pickled food of all sorts. As a kitsune in yokai, she's very mischievous, including in her roles as Guuji and owner of a publishing house. She couples this mysterious streak with impressive skills of manipulation and reading people. As such, her tricks and pranks are usually elaborate, long-winded affairs towards rather simple ends, which she does out of enjoyment and the fact that she enjoys watching people squirm. This has caused many people, such as Toma and Goro, to become easily terrified upon seeing her. If not partaking in such affairs, she shows interest in those who get her attention. She is one of A's only friends who survived the ravages of time. She tends to call the shogun by her true name, A. A herself also calls Miko by her first name, signifying their closeness and friendship. Despite her light-hearted, mischievous personality, she showed a more emotional side during the Hyakyako, including that she does generally care for those in her life and has considered thousands of yokai from across Inazuma to be her friends. Though in typical fashion for her, she quickly turns the traveler in Paima's symphony into an opportunity to trick them into paying for an extensive dinner. Spirit Fox Sin Eater is Miko's normal attack. The normal attack summons forth kitsune spirits, initiating a maximum of 3 attacks that deal electro damage, while the charge attack consumes a certain amount of stamina to deal electro damage after a short casting time, and finally, the plunging attack plunges towards the ground from mid-air, damaging all opponents in the path with thunderous might, deals AoE electro damage upon impact with the ground. Yokon Evocation, Secho Sakura, is Miko's elemental skill. To Yae, such dull tasks can be accomplished by diving spirits out, not need, but done personally, moves swiftly, leaving a Secho Sakura behind. The Secho Sakura has the following properties. 1. It periodically strikes one nearby opponent with lightning, deals electro damage, and 2. When there are other Secho Sakuras nearby, the level will increase, boosting the damage dealt by these lightning strikes. The skill has 3 changes. A maximum of 3 Secho strikes can exist simultaneously. The initial level of each Secho Sakura is 1, and the initial highest level each Sakura can reach is 3. If a new Secho Sakura is created too close to the existing one will be destroyed. Great Secret Art Tenko Kenshin is Miko's elemental burst. Legends of Kintsuganeki, or the manifestation of a kitsune's might, are common in Inazuma folktales. One that particularly captures the imagination is that of the Sky Kitsune, said to cause lightning to fall upon the foes of the Grand Narukami Shrine, summons a lightning strike dealing AoE electro damage. When she uses this skill, Yae Miko will unseal nearby Secho Sakura, destroying their outer forms and transforming them into Taiko Thunderbolts that descend from the skies, dealing AoE electro damage. Each Secho Sakura destroyed in this way will create 1 Taiko Thunderbolt. The Shrine's Sacred Shade is Miko's first Ascension passive skill. When casting Great Secret Art Tenko Kenshin, each Secho Sakura destroyed resets the cooldown for 1 charge of Yokon Evacuation Secho Sakura. Elided Blessing is Miko's 4th Ascension passive skill. Every point of elemental mystery Yae Miko possesses will increase Secho Sakura damage by 0.15%. Mediations of a Yoko is Miko's utility passive skill. As a 25% chance to get 1 regional character talent material, base material excluded, when crafting. The rarity is that of the base material. The head shrine maiden of the Grand Narukami Shrine, descendant of Hakushin's lineage, Eternity's servant and friend, and the imitating editor-in-chief of Yae Publishing House, a publisher of light novels. Come to think of it, Yae Miko's nicknames are they married as her changeable moods. The number of people who have tried to figure her out for various reasons could fill the streets from the Tenryou Commission estate to Yae Publishing House if you were to line them all up. But to this day, very few indeed have succeeded. Not that Miko has ever intended to conceal anything, of course. Any capriciousness is but the result of doing as she wills and pleases. A riddle with no solution is no riddle at all, in any case. You just need to remember that she will always be none other than the wise and beautiful Yae Miko. Yae Publishing House's editors once submitted a certain manuscript to the editor-in-chief. This work was well written, clearly thought out, and the themes were romance with a side of comedy, a prime slice of the zealous. Such a gem would surely require but a thin coat of polish and a few beautiful illustrations to sell well. But unexpectedly, Yae Miko did not seem pleased with this, instead having a deep sigh before calling for various head editors. One of them asked hastily, "Lady Yae, I did ask him to write on this topic, yes, but isn't this the one hot genre of the day?" Faced with the editor's doubtful gaze, Miko gave her opinion thoughtfully. That a book that should have been interesting yet was shackled at every turn by the topic was, simply put, not free enough. Things like top sellers, genre fiction, theirs were not but fads that would come and go every decade. Getting with the times was a shortcut, yes, but if a work had the quality that could surmount the tide, why go with the flow nonetheless? Pass this message to this new author of ours. Tell him that there's no need to bother about the genre. He just needs to write his story and write it well. Upon hearing this, the author stopped writing for a time, as if suddenly having an epiphany. Several months later, a new manuscript was sent to Miko and her editors. The latter were stunned. And even Yae Miko, who cared little about taboos, frowned her brows slightly. A rare sight indeed. What do we do? This isn't good. Exactly. I mean, there's not being concerned about the genre, and then there's something like Shogun Almighty Reborn as Raiden. This is just too much. Genre. No. There's no problem with that. It's his pen name I'm worried about. It's too normal for a book like this. Huh? So that was what you were concerned about? No, never mind. As long as you're happy, Lady Yae. Not long after, the author of this book would take to the literary stage with Yae Miko approved, an overly long pen name, Katanokoji Kenzaburo. As to how the editor-in-chief got the idea to start a Reborn as Guuji writing submission event, that would be a tale for another day. If there was something inconvenient about being the Guuji, it is that she must attend every shrine ceremony dressed up in the nines and in her proper place in the sanctuary. The fireworks paint the night skies as they blossom, and the sounds of human merriment fill the shrine, and yet she must sit within, a solemn smile on her face. Such tragedies are even more frightful to Miko than the possible wholesale disappearance of fried tofu from the vat. With the somewhat longer span of years that the Electro Archon's servants have, 100 years pass in the blink of an eye. As the years fly by, boredom becomes the greatest foe. And if even she were, Archon forbid, one day to accept sitting quietly still, obedient as dead would the world now solely lack for another clever person adept at discovering fun and grasping opportunity? As such, looking for fun things to do in every nook and cranny can only be the most reasonable and necessary course. And if she were too shy to utilize her authority as Guuji in making fun things happen, why, some things are unavoidable, are they not? On the day of the festival, Guuji would nod in satisfaction as she received the delivery of fireworks from the Yashio Commission of Nagahohara construction and specifically made to boot. That night's ceremony was, of course, performed with the perfect respect to all etiquette and rites. The sight of the Lady Guuji kneeling gracefully the whole night through would be the object of awe for all the other shrine maidens. In meantime, she would sit beneath the meteor shower of light adorning the skies, watching the festival goers as they come and went. And the din of the fireworks covered the mumbling that came between teeth chewing on a candy apple. You know, when you ask me to become Guuji, you never mention that I'll even be able to sneak outside to watch the festivities from then on. Pursuing fun and finding happiness is how Miko lives her everyday life. For someone who enjoys studying humanity like her, perspectives and virtue play distant second fiddle to fun. Even a great shrine maiden of a different faith or an enemy general might pique her interest. That said, the application can sometimes lead to some incurious trouble, as opposed to those consciousness underlings or worshipful juniors. Miko's favorite person at the shrine is a shrine maiden named Kano Nana. Yes, that Kano Nana, the novel enthusiast just like Miko, who constantly fleets over Sayu. While staying about indoors, Miko would often see Sayu flash past the window, followed by not long after a hurried and angry Kano Nana. Like lightning and thunder, they are, which caught Miko's attention to the point where she would even sometimes give wrong directions just to let the ruckus go on for a little longer. There was another time when Sayu told Miko that the afternoon sun was the most pleasant after the leisure had helped her steal some time for napping. Perhaps encouraged by these words, Miko would transform into an ordinary Izunumen lady on a wonderfully sunny afternoon, descend from the mountain, and have a day out. The Asta bathhouse in the city, Himanazaki's Kininami restaurant, Oguri textiles and kimonos by the street side, she did not miss a single store, and every one was an enjoyable experience. And in the evening, she was at Benten Sango Detective Agency to tell them of a missing animal case that she had heard about on the Ray. But you really must help. Good detectives, I mean. One can barely stand to watch those whose owners cry their eyes out as it is. Having done all this, the lady could not help but let slip a pleased smile. Taking part in Izuzuma's daily life in such an identity really was fun. Well, except that part where Kujusara shot her a suspicious glance as they passed each other by. Right, and also, she probably owed the boss of Ashta Bathhouse an apology. The Outland-styled hot springs were indeed very good, but she might have accidentally shed some fox fur during the soak. A long, long time ago, humanity did not need to use the phrase, "a long, long time ago," to preface tales about yokai. The Tengu dominated the skies, the Oni swept across the battlefield, and the Tanuki were seen along small paths, and the kitsune walked amongst humans. Under the banner of Narukami, the incredible powers of the yokai host were used to help humans through an era of strife and poverty. Seeking refuge in the mountains, they built a city by the sea, and so began Inazuma. Amongst the yokai, the lineage of Hakushin Kitsune was the most revered, and it was this great line that left a great many tales amongst humans. Whenever the yokai gathered to feast and sup together, a little braggadocio about how their latest exploits had become legend anew was very much a given. Of course, considering the amount they would drink, most tales told afterwards would diverge a little from the truth. But no one minded, asking only that the tale be interesting. As time passed, this became known as Hyako Nokonotorme Daikai, or the Great Meeting of 100 Tales. It was no uncommon sight to see Urakusai raise his cup and speak, holding all the other yokai spellbound with his story, drawing even smiles from Kitsune Sayugi, the organizer of the event. Instead, it was Miko, who was then in the form of a young kitsune, who would perch on Kitsune Sayugi's shoulder and relentlessly pick at any loopholes in Urakusai's story. Urakusai, being a cool-headed and brilliant gentleman, would explain as he twirled his beard. But Miko could always find something new to nitpick, and so they would be back and forth, until Lady Tsurugi would smile and call both parties to a halt. The audience wanted to hear the next part after all. After another 3 rounds of drink and several more rounds of stories, the company would be hard-pressed to even string a sentence together, let alone a story. And so the gathered yokai would dispense with a word fencing and use their powers to take to the skies to see who could best cover the sky and moon with their powers. And thus, it was said that 100 yokai shall prey upon a moonless night. 500 years on, that little kitsune had already become a mighty yokai in her own right. As for the yokai who drank with them in those days, they disappeared amongst war and history, and their remaining bloodlines grow thinner by the day. And thus, their great parade, the Hikiakiako, became something that happened a long, long time ago. The swords of Inazuma have always been famous, the world over, and the best works of the Raiden Gokiden in particular are national treasures. However, only a short time ago, more than half of the 5 artisan lineages were cut off. A great number of powerful people were caught up in that conspiracy, and those responsible were all called to account and banished. Even the Yashio Commission's Kamisato clan was indicted due to their failure in supervising their subordinates. But before the shogun could give the final judgment, the Lady Guuji, who usually did not meddle in government affairs, suddenly inscribed it, rescuing the Kamisato clan in their hour of peril. Thus, while they suffered a serious blow, they were spared from dismissal. And in the years that followed, others would speculate greatly concerning the Guuji's actions. Some observed the close relations between the Yashio Commission and the Grand Narukami Shrine and guessed that she had intended to forge advocates loyal to her. And yet, the shrine had always been an entity unto itself, and the Lady Guuji did not usually meddle in governance. Thus, the action seemed a sacrifice greater than reward, hardly a wise decision. Some others said that the Guuji suspected something to be wrong with the whole situation, and now that the list of those involved was so expensive, any major shakeup in the Yashio Commission could destabilize Inazuma itself. This thought, too, seemed reasonable on face, yet did not stand up to scrutiny. After all, was not the rise and fall of the great houses merely ordinary in the grand scheme of the mortal affairs? And even if the Kamisato were to fall from grace, new leadership from the Yashio Commission would emerge. Yet another story said that Miko engaged in secret talks with the Kamisato clan head just after the initial shockwaves had died down. But the wounded clan was like a candle in the wind at this point. What power could they have to change the situation? To this day, all these speculations have never amounted to anything, nor have any answers emerged concerning Miko's actions and motivations. But what known is how Miko's words that they would become as engraved into the Kamisato clan as the house's crest. That the Kamisato clan had survived this incident is only due to the shogun's mercy. Do not forget this in the days that follow. These words would serve as a seed of destiny, foreshadowing the Yashio Commission's future position. In some other time, if a storm were to descend upon Inazuma, and even if they were to come into conflict with the other two commissions, the Yashio Commission's Kamisato clan would remember the favor they were shown and abide the shogun's path to eternity. This was a move that the Guuji played with no regrets whatsoever. The Fire Soothing Festival Community was once an organization chaired by the Tenryou Commission and managed by the Grand Narukami Shrine, who we admit was to pray for a lack of any fires in the coming year. In those days, Inazuman houses were mostly made of wood, and any carelessness while handling fire could lead to disaster. Thus, the Tenryou Commission was charged by the Shogun with setting up fire brigades to conduct rescues and damage control when fires did break out. And they also requested that the Grand Narukami Shrine set the Fire Soothing Festival Committee up to comfort the frightened people. In later years, anti-fire precautions would become second nature and serious cases would no longer occur often, but still, the annual festival will remain. The shrine maidens would dance elegantly, and the people would give generously, with the proceeds of Spirit Flocks 46 between the commission and the shrine. When Yae Miko was faced with financial issues while attempting to start Yae Publishing House, she considered the various services that the shrine ran at the time before looking into this ancient traditional committee. I mean, the busy work is solely done by the Grand Narukami Shrine, so why do we have to split the proceeds with the Tenryou Commission? What's more, all the moras just going into Guuji Sr.'s pockets. It's not like the fire brigade was ever gotten a year-end bonus of anything. As such, after some preparation, the Fire Soothing Festival of that year will be changed to no longer feature dancing shrine maidens, but a grand role-kicking light novel submission contest. The organization body for the competition and any subsequent publications that the Yae Publishing House would also borrow the Fire Soothing Festival Committee's budget. As for the profits, into the shrine's coffers they went. Well, we no longer have any fires, yet our budget keeps increasing. This resurrecting relatives the financial budget burden placed upon the people. Also, the study of the lore and writing of literature and poetry is also a way of pleasing our archon. Surely you do not claim to know more about ritual and ceremony than I. That was what Yae Miko said most solemnly to Kujo Takayuki when he came by unannounced. The Tenryou Commissioner was ultimately forced to leave the way he came, stormy-faced, along with his attendants. Little did any of them know that the moment they stepped out of the shrine, the somber Lady Miko would pluck a novel manuscript from the nearby offering box and continue annotating it. That was a contest of magic for the ages. The foes split the seas as they soared across the skies, heaven and earth, changing hue as they approached. Gohei in hand, the Lady Guuji was solemn as she strode upon Mount Yugo. All around her, the shrine maidens chanted their merits as the clouds masked the sun, the thunder waiting within for the moment to strike. The battle was a grinding prediction affair. In time, when the Guuji began to falter and the enemy seized the opening, lashing out with great force, just then a bolt of lightning descended like a falling star before the Guuji, a gleaming vision. Grasping it in her hand, the received Guuji showed forth her power and, now wait just a moment, no, none of what you said just happened, right? Well, how about this then? It all started that day when I had the most vicious ramen duel down in Hanamazaki. Oh, come on, nobody's ever gonna gotten vision from eating ramen. But wouldn't that be interesting? I mean, there are these sorts of stories you like to hear, right? Yae Miko gave an energetic smile as she was faced with the traveler's curiosity. After all, would you believe me if I said that my vision is purely ornamental? Just for show, little one? Hardly. Not even if it were the truth. Her name, starting with her surname, Yae, literally means eightfold, but can also be interpreted as multi-layered or doubled. And her first name, Miko, means God's child, and is an erratic form of Miko, meaning shrine maidens, as the current chief priest of Inazuma. Yae Miko's mystic arts are based on various Japanese spellcraft and religious traditions. Here is what they mean. Spirit Fox Sin Eater perhaps refers to the Shikigami, familiars of Amiyodo, yin-yang based divination, astrology, and astronomy. Yakan Evacuation Setsuho Sakura refers to the mantras of Yaku, which mean in no Gyoja 7th century, the founder of the Sagaric religion, Shugeru, or the Eki spellbinding magic of that religion. Great secret art Tenko Kenshin refers to the mantras of Vajrayana, Thunderbolt Vehicle, an exotic tradition of Buddhism. The shrine's sacred shade refers to Hiramogami, or a sacred altar in Shinto. Elated Blessing refers to Mureto, or literal texts or inscriptions in Shinto. Yakan Offering may or may not refer to Kaldon Suto Zen schools, one of whose temples, Torakara Inari, is a major center of worship for Deikain, and identified as with Niari in Shinto, who is known for divine fox spirits. Mischievous teasing may refer to a face of 11-faced Avalokitesvara, a notable higher being in Buddhism who is sometimes associated with Inari and Dakarin. Forbidden art Daisetsudo refers to Jyogon, an ancient Taoist-inspired magic school that employed forbidden arts such as Kodoku, cursing persons. Likewise, her lore makes several references to Japanese legends and literary works about fox spirits. The first is Meditations of Ayako, refers to the Zen Buddhist idiom Yako Zen, or a tale of the legend of Kitsune Haku Zosetsu. The second is Fox Moon Call, which may refer to Kognai Tokai, a play of Koyugen Comet Theater. The features of Haku Zosetsu, and the third, The Seven Glamours, may refer to the play of Bunraku Puppet Theater that features the nine-tailed fox Tomomono no Mei. Her constellation, Divina Vulpes, means divine fox in Latin. Fact 1. Yae Miko is one of the characters with ornaments that glow while wearing her default outfit. Miko's instruction. When Yae Miko's elemental burst is ready, the purple gem in her other earring will glow about along with her vision. Fact 2. Miko is younger than Ganyan. In her debut in the Chinese version of version 1.5 special program, she refers to Ganyu as Genyu Jiji. Within Jiji is a term used to literally mean older sister, but is generally used by any older female, even if they are not blood related. Based on New Chronicles of the Six Kitsune 5, Miko was a young girl 500 years ago, which is when the cataclysm occurred and the Kitsune Seiyugi died. In contrast, Ganyun practiced in the Archon War over 2,000 years ago, and is also suggested to have lived in the Gaul Assembly, which fell 3,700 years ago. Fact 3. Miko is a Kitsune from the Hakushin clan and possesses a fox form. In Japanese mythology, Kitsune are spiritual fox-like creatures with a reputation for cleverness, befitting Miko's close ties with the Raiden Shogun, the god of eternity. Mythological Kitsune are believed to live for thousands of years and symbolize eternity. While Miko calls herself a Sky Kitsune or Tenko, based on her age and number of tails she has, 5, Miko would only be the rank of Kito in Kitsuten society, with Ashreiko being the lowest and Tenko being the highest according to Japanese folklore. Fact 4. Yae Miko is inspired by Yae Sakura from Honkai Impact 3rd, another game developed by Hoyoverse, and shares a number of similarities with her. 1. They share physical characteristics such as having long pink hair, purple eyes, and fox ears. 2. They share the same surname Yae. 3. Both are Miko-associated foxes. 4. Yae Sakura is a Japanese origin, while Inazuma is Japanese themed. And 5. They are both voiced by Du Minya in Chinese and Sakura Aya in Japanese. Fact 5. While performing her normal uncharged attacks, Miko does not use her equipped catalyst, instead using her Go-Ahead staff. Fact 6. Yae Miko may have studied under the Onomuji Karuruma Harunosuke, who also closely acquired with a Kitsune Tsugugi. The inventor of Onomuji, the Chinese and Japanese name for her normal attack, contained the term Shiki, law, ceremony, and formula, which can mean Shikigami or the Yodumi familiars, is the context of mystic arts. Okay, I probably butchered a lot of names in this video, but that is Yae Miko. Next time, we will go over the Master of Beautiful Fireworks, Yorimiya. So see you next time, and hopefully I do not butcher any more names, because, like, oh my gosh. There was a lot of long names I couldn't even pronounce in this, but hey, see you next time.